All right, y'all. With this video, we're gonna talk about again what he was doing with the philosophy, with his philosophy of the word big, and then what he was doing was he had a philosophy that he created with the word big, and so because he wanted to have so much sex, he got power hungry. Um, Based off his ego being boosted, based off how women would talk about having sex with a big dick, and getting overly excited when having sex with a big dick. So he thought he had power over a woman based off how they would moan and groan and talk during sex when having sex with a penis of this size, as instead of a penis at this size, right? So therefore that's then the problem, and he got greedy for sex, um, based off it being naturally understood that black men have bigger penises than any other man in the world. So therefore that's the problem. That's then the problem behind what he was doing. Because since size mattered in true love, size mattered for everyone all the time. So therefore a white guy can have a penis that's 9 inches, a Hispanic guy can have a penis that's 9 inches or even larger, and then even Asian guys can have penises with that are 9 inches. Indian guys can have penises that are 9 inches. So therefore, that's then really the problem, and that's what I'm saying. So therefore, I'm saying that since size matters in true love for everybody, um, then everybody can have the size penis that they deserve from Jesus Christ, right? So that's then the problem. So basically, with him believing his philosophy with the word big, with when it comes to African Americans, and him understanding um, that most African American guys have bigger penises than anyone else, being compared in penis size. Um, women would talk about it, and and then they would then get so excited about having sex with a big dick that because it's all throughout hip hop, right? So it's all throughout hip hop, and then all throughout pornography, right? So therefore, with him saying that, with women saying that God is so big, he with coupled with his philosophy and his hunger and everything, and his greed, and with women talking and boosting his ego behind his size, he thought that he was the one that they were referring to when it comes to saying God it's so big. Whenever because they would repeatedly say the same thing to him in sex, and then they repeatedly say the same thing also in pornography, as we have seen. So therefore, that's he thought that he was God because he came up with this philosophy, and he could prove that he was bigger than most men, right? So therefore, he always believed that he was big, right? Um, so therefore, that's then the problem, and the reason why he would always believe that he was big is because he was always this guy right here, instead of being these guys who were smaller. But and instead of being this guy who was bigger than this guy's big. So therefore, but this guy is bigger, so this one is then big compared to all of them. And he basically always wanted to be that last one, right? So therefore, that's then his problem. Um, that's then his problem, and as things always need to be both big and small, right? So yeah, y'all, that's then the problem, and he then always would think that they were referring to him because because of saying God, and based off when it comes to people not truly believing that Jesus Christ is real, um or is God, period. He just kind of took it upon himself to believe that he was, because he was the one then telling the truth about whatever was going on, based off sex, period. And everybody needs to have sex, right? So so therefore, that's then that's what he thought he was. Um, that's what he thought he was, and that's really the truth. And this is how it's understood as that, to how that he was thinking that way. Because it is because going against Jesus by believing that you are Jesus is sin, and it is something that you can do. So therefore, if he then truly wanted to do it, he needed to understand option two, and he would have felt a whole lot better. So therefore, that's then the problem, and I'll see y'all in the next video, y'all.